In the last video, we talked about why Twitter's current business model has failed in comparison to that of Facebook, and we also discussed the 5 major changes we will most likely see in Twitter 2.0 along with their third order consequences. But today's video is going to be a lot darker.
This controversy must not be forgotten because Elon Musk is not your average Joe. He is the richest man in the world, plus a cult figure on Twitter. What Elon Musk says and does has real-world consequences, and so far, he has set the wrong example.
In this video, we are going to know 2 things specifically. First, the real reason why Elon Musk wants to buy Twitter, and second, the China dilemma Elon Musk faces, which for some reason the media doesn't seem to be talking much about. So, let's get started. Twitter, a platform that although might not generate 1/10 of Facebook's annual revenue, is the most respected social media platform worldwide. Governments of all countries, including the illegitimate Taliban of Afghanistan, use Twitter to propagate their country's foreign policies as well as other developments. A platform where the news gets broken even sooner than the traditional news channels. On such an influential platform, Elon Musk has a following of more than 96 million people. To give you some context, his closest rival and the world's second richest man, Jeff Bezos, has a Twitter following of 4.5 million only. Elon Musk today has achieved a cult status, and the major driving force behind it has been his public persona on Twitter. Unlike other lot of CEOs, Elon Musk is an openly accessible personality on Twitter. People relate to him for his not so politically correct tweets and replies, and this cult status has enhanced both his brand value as well as that of his company Tesla. Tesla till date has zero marketing budget, and remember, unlike Twitter, Tesla is an expensive company to run. You need to build big factories to produce cars. Historically, Tesla has been able to raise money by selling millions of dollars of stock on Wall Street, not by finding big institutions to sell stock through banks, but by going out to the market and selling them to individual shareholders who are most often huge admirers of Elon Musk or just trust his vision for the future. But, for some of his controversial actions in the recent past, which we're also going to talk about in this video, Musk has been running the risk of getting banned from Twitter. And to get banned from a platform where you hold the utmost power is not something the world's richest man would ever want. Now then, the obvious question is, what controversial past actions of Elon Musk are we talking about? To answer this question, we just need to go back to the last year. In 2021, Elon Musk was accused of using his massive Twitter following to first pump up the price of a relatively unknown cryptocurrency, Dogecoin, only to soon dump it, thus incurring heavy losses for most public investors in the process. This isn't the only incident, of course. In 2018, the SEC, or Securities and Exchange Commission of the United States, which is the equivalent of SEBI in India, filed charges against Elon Musk for distributing misleading information on Twitter. Musk had tweeted back then that he had secured funding to take Tesla private at $420 per share, but soon it was found out that the funding had actually not been secured. Musk later went on to say that he was in talks with the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund and he thought the funding would come through. But the court didn't consider that explanation. The case eventually got settled with Musk paying a $20 million fine and stepping down as Tesla's chairman for 3 years. And not just that, he was also asked to get approval from Tesla's legal counsel before tweeting anything related to Tesla or its finances on Twitter. That wasn't the last of a Musk-SEC confrontation. Next year in 2019, Musk tweeted, Tesla made 0 cars in 2011 but will make around 500k in 2019. The problem with this tweet was that year Tesla was not expected to make 5 lakh cars. Hours later, Musk again clarified, saying that by the end of 2019, Tesla would be making cars quickly enough that the company could produce around 5 lakh cars per year if it retained that rate of production. But it was late. The SEC filed a case saying Musk violated the terms of their agreement and asked a judge to hold him in contempt of court. Now, if you're new to the world of finance and stock market, you might be wondering, why do we need such strict regulatory rules? It is quite simple. These rules are there to protect public investors like you and me. Because if company CEOs publicly make untrue or misleading statements in connection with their stock, and the public makes investment on the basis of that incorrect information, then eventually it would lead to not only the loss of their hard-earned money, but also their trust in the entire system. Now, these were the stories from 2018, 19, and 21. But even with this Twitter acquisition deal, Elon Musk has had a face-off with SEC. So here is how Musk played with the SEC this time around. Originally, the SEC law mandates that anyone who acquires more than 5% of a company's common shares has to publicly disclose their shareholding within 10 calendar days from the date of acquisition. But what Musk did was, he started buying Twitter's shares in the late January, and on 14 March, when he crossed to a 5% holding, he did not disclose this fact publicly. He waited until 4th April, disclosing his stake 21 days later. During this period, when he was legally required to disclose his Twitter stake, he kept on buying more and more Twitter stock and also continued to have discussions with the Twitter's board of directors about taking over the company. And not just that, before disclosing the deal on 4th April, on 25th March, the day after the 10-day period lapsed, Musk posted this poll on Twitter. Free speech is essential to a functioning democracy. Do you believe Twitter rigorously adheres to this principle? The consequences of this poll will be important. Please vote carefully. Thus, throwing an easy hint to the market that he might be interested in buying some significant stake in Twitter. And so, when the news finally broke out on April 4, Twitter's share price soared 27% higher on that very day. In fact, by the end of the day, Musk had already made an $800 million gain on his $3 billion investment. Well played. What's interesting to note here is you would expect someone in Elon's position to know that SEC charges a fine of about $1 lakh for such late disclosures. Then why would he still not disclose his filing on time? Well, the answer isn't surprising when you realize that $1 lakh fine is on a person who is worth close to $300 billion, and of course the $800 million gain on the very first day of public disclosure only adds to that celebration. Now, these are the things you would not find people talking about in the media. Don't get me wrong here, I have a lot of respect for the problems Elon has been working on. But my job as an educator is to share the facts and show both sides of the coin with no bias. Now, in the second half, we are going to know how this Musk Twitter deal may actually go on to help China, which in all this noise is an equally important side to the story. If there is one government in the world that has the reason to welcome Musk taking control of Twitter, it is probably Beijing. Jeff Bezos was the first person to tweet on this. Of course, Bezos has done his own share of censorship on behalf of the Chinese Communist Party, so he is not the best person to raise this issue. Nonetheless, he has a good point. Musk has a long history of complying with Xi Jinping's wishes, seemingly because of his extensive business ties with the largest authoritarian regime in the world. And that stands in direct contrast of how he operates with the US government. When China told Tesla to make few changes in their cars, Musk complied immediately, despite showing reservations to similar orders from the US. Similarly, when California shut down a Tesla factory, Musk refused and called them fascist. But when China shut down a Tesla factory, Musk quietly complied. Of course, Musk has his own reasons to love China. He has been given preferential access and perks, including tax breaks and cheap loans, as well as the right to operate without a joint venture partner after striking the deal for a car assembly plant with the Chinese government in 2018. And this government support has helped to turn China into Tesla's most important market outside the US, accounting for more than a quarter of revenue last year. Therefore, the question we should all be asking is, how would Musk respond if China were to demand more censorship on Twitter? Because China will not hesitate to use any leverage it has. Although the Chinese government banned Twitter for its own people in 2009, the government continues to use it extensively to push Beijing's foreign policy around the globe, often with false or misleading information. Meanwhile, its citizens have to risk harsh prison sentences if found using the site. Thus, you see, in such a tricky scenario, if Twitter somehow upsets the Communist Party state, Musk's extensive business investments in China could very well be at risk. With 1/4 of its global sales in China, as well as about half of its production and a major battery factory in Shanghai, Tesla is seen likely to come under pressure from Beijing once Musk takes control of Twitter. Now recently there has been another twist in the story.
Elon Musk tweets that the $44 billion deal is, quote, temporarily on hold.
Musk has put the Twitter deal on hold by wanting a re-evaluation of the fake accounts on Twitter. Of 229 million users on Twitter, Musk wants to reaffirm that the fake accounts represent less than 5% of total user base, although no evidence of it being otherwise has been shown by him. Interestingly, this move is being called out as a negotiation tactic on behalf of Elon. The spam bots are not why he's backing away from the deal, as you can tell from the facts that spam bots are why he did the deal. Moreover, nothing has changed about the bot problem since Musk signed the merger agreement. Twitter has been publishing the same estimates for the past 8 years, and Musk knew those estimates and declined to do any non-public due diligence before signing the merger agreement. Then, what has happened in the last 1 month that Musk wants the deal to be put on hold? Well, the reason is that the prices of tech stocks have simply fallen down the cliff in the past 1 month, making the 54.2 price that Musk agreed to pay look a bit too much. Also, the price of Tesla stock, on which he is relying to finance the part of the deal, has gone down by 30% since he made the offer, making him less richer and $54.2 price even more expensive. So although Elon Musk might still want to buy Twitter, he wants to do so at a significantly lower price. The effect of this declaration was quite evident when a couple of hours after sharing the news story on his Twitter timeline, Twitter's share price fell by more than 20%. From a high of $54, the price Musk had initially agreed to, Twitter's share price is now trading at around $38, thus losing a market cap of more than $9 billion in the process. Now, the most likely outcome of all this would be that this deal would still get done, but at a significantly lower price for Musk. In the end, I would like to just conclude with one thought. I do not want you to leave this video carrying just a negative picture of Elon Musk, because that was not the purpose of this video. The sole purpose of me coming out with this video is to make you think and question whatever is being shown to us on social media platforms and news channels today. And with regards to trusting Elon Musk with Twitter, I just have one opinion. If we can trust Jeff Bezos with an all-important newspaper like the Washington Post, and if we are comfortable with Bill Gates buying up most of the farmlands in the United States to now become the biggest private owner of farmland in the US, then we surely can also trust Elon Musk with Twitter and see whether he truly serves Twitter or Twitter serves him. Until next time, namaste, bye-bye and take care. Do subscribe to our channel The Money Master for more such insightful content, and if you like this video, share this with your friend and give it a big thumbs up.